My name is Danielle DeAngelo, and this is my Out of Comfort Zone Experience project. For my Out of Comfort Zone population, I chose to be around children with disabilities. And I chose this because I've never really been around them before, so I figured it would be a good experience. The children that I was around, most of them either had autism or Down syndrome. There was a few others that had other disabilities, but those were like the main two that most of the children had. And since I've never really been around children with disabilities, I was kind of nervous going into this experience. Some of my past thoughts was just, I never been around children with disabilities, so I was pretty nervous going into it. I didn't really have any previous stereotypes or biases towards them because I had never been around children with disabilities. But I did know, they're just like any other child is. And so I just kind of went in with that mindset, which was pretty helpful. So for the activity that I chose to promote personal growth was that I volunteered at the Miracle League of Valdosta. And what this is it's a baseball team for children with disabilities. Their games took place at Freedom Park, and they're about 50 minutes long. And they also have a league for adults with disabilities, and their games started right after. So sometimes because I did this a few times, I volunteered, and after we helped out with the children's game, we would walk over and just watch the adult league play so that we can just, support them and cheer them on, which they really all enjoyed. So it was really fun watching their game as well. But what I did with the baseball team for the children's league was that when I was paired with a child for the game, that's what they do is when you volunteer there, you get paired with the person. And what you do with them is that you help them bat, and then you also will help them to run around the bases whenever it's their turn. And then when it's time to come into the outfield, you're basically just there to keep them focused on the game and stuff. And with the younger children, they just didn't really care too much about the baseball when they were in the outfield. So we, just kind of had to keep them occupied while we were in the outfield and just make sure they were having fun. And during this experience, I was paired with a different person because I did this a few times. And I was paired with a different person every time. So I didn't really have the same person, but I had a good time with everyone that I was paired with. And in this picture on this slide is Tucker, and he was one of the boys that I was paired with. And he was just one of the boys I was paired with and had to help run bases and stuff, and he was just a really sweet kid. So looking back on this experience, I just was no longer nervous, and it's kind of weird just thinking that I was even nervous in the first place because I just had so much fun. All the children were so sweet, and they were just normal children, they're just hyper, and that was really the main difference. They just acted a little younger than their age because they weren't fully developed mentally. But it was just being around a kid that's hyper. And I work at a church nursery, so I'm around kids pretty often, and it was just being at work kind of, except a lot funner because I was helping out, and it was just funner playing, helping out with a baseball game than being at work. So, but after this activity, I would definitely go back and do it again because it was just such a rewarding experience to go and help them all out. And like I said, I did go a few times, and I was able to go the final game, and they had an awards ceremony then. And it was just really, really nice seeing them all get their awards at the end of the game, and they all just had such a good time. And I didn't really have a specific buddy each time like a few of the volunteers did, but those volunteers took their pictures with their same buddy, and they just had they had a true bond with them. And I think that they'll definitely gonna keep in touch with their buddies, but I would definitely just again try to get a few of the buddies that I did have. But I was able to just learn so much from this experience, and it's definitely something that I would do again, because I just felt so good leaving the games and knowing I helped out and actually had fun while doing it. So that was my out of comfort zone population experience.